Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave,
I'm Catie.
and you are listening to our weekly Survivor recap podcast in which we break down the latest episode of Survivor. And last night's episode was episode 9, entitled Still Bringing the Punches or something like that.
Still throwing punches.
Still Throwing Punches.
Bringing
And
the punches.
Bringing them punches. I have no idea where the title comes from. Do you, Catie?
Yeah, Jay said it when he was talking
Jason.
about just trying to find a way to survive.
Okay. It was a J quote. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Nice. Okay. What do you think of Jay in this episode?
Bit of a dick, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess he found a way to survive. I'm not sure if that was through his own work or just that people were so fed up with Taylor that they had to get rid of him. I mean, I like that Jay voted for Taylor to ensure that Taylor would go home.
Oh, I didn't know he did that. Very nice.
He did. But then Will also voted for Jay. So somehow, when they split the votes, they had more votes on Taylor, obviously. So it still worked out in his favor.
Yeah. So Will voted for Jay. Does that mean the Gen X people got to Will?
I think they're not showing us a lot of what Will's doing. And next week, the preview talks about how Will is exposing Jay to everyone. But if you look at Taylor's exit interviews, he seemed to already know that Will was telling people about Jay's idol. So I think Will's jumping ship.
So that's already happened. It's already started to happen.
It sounded like it because if Taylor knows about it, and Taylor's as obtuse as my table. So if he knew something was going down, then
Yeah. So maybe the beginning of the revealing of Jay's idol had already started in this set of days, but they kind of wanted to squeeze it into next
right.
week's episode. So they just
Because
kind of
obviously, I guess I don't know what next week's story is, but it seems to probably have more relevance on next week's story.
yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, so Will is probably working a little bit more with Gen X than what we've seen.
Not necessarily Gen X, but I think he has tight relationships with Zeke and Hannah. So, and they have ins. Zeke has ins to Gen X. So he has a tenuous connection to that big super alliance.
Yeah, I feel like Zeke is the linchpin connecting whatever millennials are still doing okay to the Gen X group, basically.
Yeah, and that's something he could certainly use to his advantage if he so desired.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think Jay did much. I agreed to save his own, but it's just kind of that's the way it worked out. I think they planned on putting the majority of the votes on Taylor to begin with.
Especially if they knew that Jay had the idol.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
But eventually you want that idol flushed, right?
Yeah, I think you want to flush it. So you kind of want to get him to play it and then Taylor goes home or whatever, but that's not what happened. So Jay got away good in this episode.
Yeah, he stayed number one, and he still has an idol number 2. But it seems like everyone's going to know about it if they don't already.
And he just for an added bonus, he threw Taylor under the bus last night. So
did he?
Yeah,
by calling him a dumb surfer dude.
yeah. He's like, I have goals and I want to do things with my life. I'm not just some dumb surfer. No offense, dude.
And Taylor says snowboarder, not surfer.
Yeah, Taylor just kind of laughs, but it was like a brutal insult to Taylor.
It was pretty. Yeah, especially, and I don't think Jay's dumb. He's right, but he comes off that way kind of when he speaks.
Jay?
Yeah. But then you watch some of his confessionals and like his secret scenes, and he's not. He's just plagued by one of those stoner bro voices.
Yeah, and I mean that's just the type of people he probably hangs out with, and it's the culture. It's a culture thing. Like he may not be dumb, but it's the culture he's into. It's the personality he's absorbed. It's a
Yes.
typical personality that people can. It doesn't mean they're dumb necessarily.
Not necessarily. No,
It's a
I don't.
stereotype of that personality, I think.
Which Taylor fits, but Jay
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily fit quite as perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. But
Um,
boy, was I happy to see Taylor go. Thank God. Oh,
yes, he's finally gone. And do you think we will get a Taylor returning player Taylor next
God,
season?
no.
No.
Taylor didn't even know that he was playing Survivor. Like,
Yeah.
even at his Ponderosa video, he was talking about how the money was just not on his mind. And I was like, I mean, fine, everyone likes to have adventures and experiences, but that's kind of insulting to the people who are out there and who have already gone out, like Michaela, playing for that money, But
Yeah.
whatever.
That's a good point. I mean, there's no law or rule that says
No,
you must play Survivor.
for the money.
You must be a super fan, and you have
suppose,
to
yeah.
know how to play the game. There's no rule about that. The only rule is you have to be sort of an interesting character to make good television. That's the
Would
only
you
rule.
say that Taylor was an interesting character? Because I think that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, I'd say he was interesting. And I guess, yeah, I guess part of that is you need a diverse cast, so you have to have diversity, and he plays that specific type of. He fulfills a role, a need that the show needs.
Here's what I don't like though.
Yeah,
they have a diverse cast and they have a lot of really great personalities that we haven't heard from in a while because the show has been so focused on Taylor, who I don't find interesting enough to eat up that much camera time. The camera time he does earn, which is all because of his buffoonery hiding all of this food, is so idiotic that it, like, a good chunk of it just kind of infuriated me. Because I want to know what David's doing. I want to know what Zeke's thinking. I want to know all kinds. Like Jessica, I haven't heard from her for like 3 weeks. But no, everything has to be about Taylor.
Yeah, and ultimately his story amounts to nothing. So why did we need so much of it?
It's a really good question. I feel like they were trying to make it happen.
Yeah,
no, he's not coming back. I will put money on that. He's not coming back.
Okay, yeah, I hope you're right. I've had enough Taylor.
For a lifetime. People are throwing around things like he's the worst survivor to play the game, just because of how much he basked in his thievery of the food, as if people were just supposed to roll off their shoulders like it did him. Like he assumes everyone else is as chill as he is about stealing food. I mean,
yeah, he really
didn't see the.
Yeah, he really fit the millennial cliche with that.
He did.
Jeff Probst
which
struck
Jeff
gold
really tried to ram down our throat again.
Oh yeah, and it was disgusting this time. It was way too much.
Yeah, it was enough. It was like and the way he did like one of those dad impressions too, like, "Hey man, rock on." I'm just like,
dad impressions of millennials, like, hey, I'm just everything's chill, bro.
I was embarrassed for him.
Yeah, it was a little much this week. We've had enough of the millennial cliche stuff. But
it needs to stop.
Taylor does really fit that though. It's like I should be able to do things, play the game this way, this carefree way, and I'm probably gonna win. And everyone's gonna be like, "Why didn't I just be chill like Taylor, bro?" And it's like, nope, that's not how this game works. Sorry, buddy.
No.
Only Fabio pulled that shit off. So.
Well, Fabio, in his defense, Fabio had a lot more going on upstairs than I think.
Yeah, Fabio was very intelligent, and he had good social game. I mean, people actually liked him, like, all around.
He was actually funny. Taylor was always laughing, but not once did I laugh at anything he said. I did not find him entertaining in the least.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate
standoff.
Yeah, I appreciate his carefree attitude, and I wish I still had a lot more of that in me, and I wasn't, the way I am. But yeah, I appreciate Taylor for what he is, but yeah, it wasn't too good for the game. I guess I see Taylor as a person who he has crazy life experiences, and he's like living life to the fullest, and Survivor came up for him, and it was just sort of another crazy life experience to add to the bucket list. and he had never seen the show probably in his life. Maybe a couple
He said
episodes.
he had.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. It is hard to believe, but
Yeah,
maybe he
maybe he
was
did. I don't
high
know.
every time he watched it.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, that's a good point. Um. Anyways, yeah, good to see Taylor gone.
Took forever. It feels like it just took forever. It took way too long for him to be gone.
Yeah. So Taylor, one maybe good thing he did in the episode was, he had some semblance of strategy for how to stay in the game. And that was his attack on Adam, maybe
That
trying
was
to.
the part I found infuriating. I
Yeah, I
barely
mean,
could even watch that.
the tribal was infuriating, but I mean, like at least it was some semblance of like a strategy. He's like, okay, I'm gonna tell everyone that Adam has this reward, and maybe that will, or this reward steal, I should say, maybe that will get people to think twice about keeping him around. Sort of that. I mean, sort of strategic, at least, right?
Yeah, and then he takes it one step further and just assumes that when Adam will use it is definitely going to be on the loved one's visit, as if
Yeah,
that is not the worst possible time to ever use that reward. And Adam's not that stupid, I don't think.
yeah.
But I think at this point, because Adam has been exposed, he's going to be a target soon.
Mhm.
And, you know, but because Zeke and Hannah appear to be jumping off the Adam train too. But I
Mhm.
think Adam he had Ken and Jessica, and Ken and Jessica have David, and David has Zeke. I don't know. There's like all these interconnecting webs that I think somehow might keep Adam around longer than
Sure.
we.
Yeah, it could happen, but I think Adam is yeah, things aren't looking so good for Adam these days.
No, not even his nerd block
Yeah,
is
no,
really fond of
they
him.
seem to be really against him. Like I think Hannah made at that part you're talking about where Zeke calls out Adam for, he basically told Jay, you're on the bottom or whatever. And I mean, that was kind of obvious already, I think. So it wasn't as big of a dick move as he made it out to be, because he basically is on
Yeah,
the bottom. He's just being honest. But Zeke, says, "Hey, that's really dumb. You don't want to tell people on the bottom, they're on the bottom because."
yeah, that whole thing immaturity did shine through with both Jay and Taylor. And I don't think it's so much a millennial thing. I think it's some people can deal with adversity, like Zeke and Adam have already dealt with it, and they act like they haven't had to deal with it, but they
Mhm.
have. Whereas Jay, I don't think it was so much Adam being so forthright with him as it was Jay just being frustrated with his position, because he'd been kind of in control the entire game. And when he found out he isn't, this is a kid that I think is used to, things coming to him pretty easily. And same
Mhm.
with Taylor. And
Yeah.
so when they don't get their way, they don't handle it the best. Jay handles it better than Taylor did, but neither of them handled it with like, okay, what do I do next? You know what I mean? Like Adam did, and like Chris did, and like Zeke did. Like all of those guys could have been super pissed and like taken their anger out in stupid ways, but they regrouped within themselves and found a way to just build a better game.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so Adam just not going over good with his nerd block anymore. Um
Yeah.
Hannah said something that was like, "Whoa, she really doesn't like Adam."
Well,
Like
I think they were also in front of Jay and Will, and so they were kind of playing it up because that's smart to keep those
yeah,
options open.
maybe that is all. Maybe there wasn't as much truth to their
A
comments
little
as.
harsh though for just
Yeah.
playing, because I don't remember what they said, but it was
I
pretty
don't,
mean.
I don't remember what Hannah said exactly, but like someone was like, "Adam's just a dick," and Hannah's like, "Yeah, he's a total dick," like something like that. Like just basically like sounds like they hate Adam all of a sudden. So I don't think that bodes well for his game.
I
If
think
his
maybe they were just trying to fit in with the cool kids. Like, yeah, that guy sucks.
yeah, could be, but I don't think he's in a good position with that group anymore.
No.
He's probably in a great position with Ken and Jessica. They probably still feel like he's their like number 4. I'm guessing Ken sees David as their number 3 in his own mind, and Adam's
I'm
like
telling
their.
you right now, I have a feeling that this Ken, Jess, and David thing is going far.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
I
I
mean, they They did give us a lot of setup for Ken and David in the early season, so
Yes, they
mhm.
did.
So maybe there is something to that.
I don't know. It seems, yeah, like they established that connection in the beginning and they haven't really returned to it yet. Ken's barely been visible other than his immunity win this week. Same with Jessica, which leads me to believe further down the road they're going to become more important. And David hasn't been that visible either. So,
Yeah, definitely could be. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Jessica. Do you think she's in trouble in the next couple votes, being that we got a lot of setup for her being a target?
well, first of all, I want to say that for a second there, I was thinking yet another woman was going to get voted out, and I was pissed. I was like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me, Sunday? I was like, Sunday, you're dead to me. I don't even want to hear you. Even though I understand why she did it, there's clearly some rift between those Ken, not so much Ken, but Jessica, and then Chris and Sunday and Brett. They still have it in for Jessica. It's like,
Yeah,
they're not
I
so
think
good at letting stuff go either.
it all started to happen around that that
It was
Paul vote.
the
Wasn't
Paul
it?
vote, and yep, and then
And
yeah,
ever since then, they feel like it was like Jessica who wanted to get rid of Paul and screw everything up, and because of
which is
that,
true, to be
yeah,
fair.
I guess. But yeah, they haven't been able to trust her since then. The only person that really can is Ken, because
Knows
they've
about her
talked.
legacy.
Yeah, he knows they've had a bonding, a trust moment where they can
And
trust each
that's
other moving
valuable
forward.
to Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably more valuable than the fact that she has an advantage was that moment because he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I think he and Jessica and David have a solid 3. Chris, Brett, and Sunday have a solid 3. And then those people have connections outside of those 3. It's quite the web, which is why it seems like next week shit's just going to explode. I think.
Yeah.
That's what Probst said. He said, there's 2 episodes next week, by the way. And
I was wondering how they were going to get. There's
down
like
to the
yeah, there's
final.
11 people left and 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, there's 2 episodes next week, and Probst always teases on Entertainment Weekly. He teases the next episode, and he said it's as close to a perfect episode of TV that you can get.
Oh wow.
So, and if you remember he said the first one, and then he said the second. He said something else about the second one. He said the season is kicking into high gear, and there's 2 episodes next week, and they both kick ass, is what he said.
Oh, nice. So what do you think we'll get? Like, what about timeline wise in the like on island time? How fast are those 2 votes happening in 2 days or?
I mean, they must have to speed it up because they only have 14 days left, and they have to get down to 3 people by day 39. So they have to get through like 8 more votes in 14 days. So that's like
that's a lot.
Probably going to be a double elimination or something. I don't know.
You almost have to have 1 vote every 2 days to do that.
Yeah, they're going to be exhausted. All those challenges.
Yeah, lots of challenges and lots of tribal councils. They're going to have to move things along.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I was thinking next week there's going to be 2 episodes, and they're doing that just so they can quickly get rid of Will and Jay in one night and make it, not so boring, not drag it out, is what I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you don't have solid enough alliances for that to happen. I think Jay has an idol that could come to bite people in the ass. There's 2 other idols out there. There's going to be vote splitting if everybody knows about the idol. I think it's just going to be chaos, and I have no way of predicting it.
Yeah, no, I totally.
I'll make a prediction, but it'll be a shot in the dark.
I totally agree. Yeah, especially with the news that Probst is hyping it up as like a perfect episode of television. I mean, that has to involve some sort of unpredictability. So
I loved the preview for next. I thought it was hilarious how everyone was telling him about the idol, and then the last one was David, and he was. What did he say? He said, "Did you hear about Jay's idol?"
Yeah, so it's like a game of telephone or whatever. Like they're just passing it down the line. Jay has an
Yeah.
idol. Jay has an idol.
To me, that just tells me it's gonna be mass chaos next week. How many names did they throw out there? Chris's name was thrown out there to vote out, so I just don't even know.
Yeah, so Jay's probably gonna have to play that thing, I'm guessing.
I would imagine for that there's gonna be an idol played next week in one of those 2 episodes.
Faux show. Sorry, lost my train of thought, Catie.
Yeah, we got a little into prediction territory, which I apologize for.
No, that's fine. There's not much to unpack with this episode, you know?
Yeah, I was pretty keyed up through most of it, just kind of pissed off. First with the thought that another woman could go home, and then with just the attack on Adam. And it's so frustrating because that feeling when someone's just making up lies, but all you can do is sit there and be like, no, he's lying. That's not true. Yeah. And that doesn't always sound great to the people who are listening. So Adam can show them his reward or his advantage and burn it in front of them or give it to someone or whatever, but it's still out there that he kept it from people. But people don't always share their idols and advantages with people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why should he have done it?
Yeah, it is frustrating because I don't know, I'm kind of pulling for Adam. He's probably not my number one, person I want to win, but he's up there. And things just aren't really going his way anymore. Even he's in a decent position, but like I watched this episode with some people that never watched Survivor, and they saw Adam in this episode as the worm. Like they're like, I want the wormy guy to go home, and like they're like Taylor's gonna get through this. They're like pulling for Taylor and going against. Gross. Yeah, and that's just the way this episode was edited. Like you can't blame these people because like you're not seeing that Adam hero edit that was before, and you're not and Taylor's getting like awesome orchestra music over him talking about getting revenge for Figgy, his girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Did they think when the season was being filmed that we were gonna like Figgy and Taylor? Did they think that?
Maybe there are people who actually do like Figgy and Taylor. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like the disconnect between like the mainstream Survivor watchers, like the casuals, and I think I first started to notice this a couple seasons ago when like Joey the Amazing, was that when I kind of was noticing this?
Yeah,
Joey Amazing, we wanted him to go home.
Joe's first season I was kind of on board, but the second season I was like, oh no.
For sure. Like, okay, so in his second season, Joey Amazing is kind of like, we're kind of like not feeling it anymore. We kind of want him to go home. We're over it. And we think that everybody feels that way, but turns out the casual fans, like a lot of people are like all in on Joey Amazing, like loving this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a big rift between the casual fans and the super fans. And I wonder if maybe like we're not seeing that the casual fans are loving Figgy and Taylor, and we aren't seeing that.
I can tell you that the people who go on Twitter are not loving Figgy and Taylor.
Okay, yeah. So this probably isn't one of those cases.
I don't think so. I don't think they're popular with anyone.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe the producers did think for some reason that they would go over better than they did.
Did they think he was entertaining? Because that's also a miscalculation. But that's just my perception. I did not enjoy him at all.
Yeah, maybe they did see him more as like a Philip character,
Maybe. I guess Phil, yeah, that's true. They have a habit of, maybe they were trying to play him up to be like the villain, and maybe he will come back someday.
Yeah, somebody we love to hate, I
hate when they bring those people back.
I know.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay. What else in this episode? What do you think of Hannah these days?
She's not great at picking teams. We learned that.
Yeah, she's terrible at picking teams.
That was really bad.
Do you think she just picked her friends or whatever, like people she?
Well, she said she wanted to pick Will and Jay to prove that she's kind of still with them. which was smart if you were looking at what the challenge was,
Yeah. But yeah, you
But
basically
if you have 5 super skinny dudes, you're not going to get that crate pulled through
yeah,
the
you
dirt.
basically just made those two guys not get cheeseburgers. So
Yeah, how was that better?
yeah.
I don't know. But I really kind of had it with, I mean, I don't know with Hannah what's a legitimate panic attack and what's like her just being ridiculous. Like at tribal council, I just wanted to be like, Hannah, stop it. Just stop.
Yeah.
Sit back and just watch what's happening and cool your tits because this is annoying and I can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. All they're doing is talking. Like they're just having a conversation at moderate volume, and she's fucking freaking out, man.
Yeah. She lost. She's like, and I'm like, they're talking about food, girl, and this reward means nothing. I've seen way bigger bombshells dropped at tribal council, and people do not react the way you're reacting.
Yeah.
So you need to settle.
It was pretty funny. Pretty funny, though. I have to admit, I got a chuckle out of it.
And I think she's self-aware enough. She said in some of her secret scenes and confessionals that she plays up her persona, and perhaps that's all she was doing. But I kind of found it annoying this week.
For sure. Yeah, if you were on a Survivor reward challenge, would you drink alcohol?
When I go out, I usually am like, okay, I'll have like 1 or 2. I'd probably be like that. I mean, that's just who I am. That's my wheelhouse.
Sure.
I'll have one.
Yeah.
But if there's soda there too, and I'm more obsessed with soda than I am with alcoholic beverages,
yeah,
and I haven't had soda in 3 weeks, I'm probably going to spend more of my time with the soda. So
yeah, right on. Yeah, I don't think I would try to avoid even having a drink because a couple of reasons. If you drink on an empty stomach, like you're gonna get drunk so fast.
Yeah, but they weren't drinking on an empty stomach.
Yeah, they just ate a bunch of food, but they've been starving, like the alcohol has a different effect when you haven't been eating, so
True.
I think I would be wary of that because you'll get so drunk so fast and you're going to do something stupid, Yeah,
but I always appreciate it when people get drunk because it's entertaining for us at home.
Yeah, it's usually super funny.
And Brett seems like he knows how to put it away and he can handle his alcohol.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's a guy who drinks like a 6-pack every other night or something. So
something like that, yeah.
So I mean, look at the keg he has on his body. So
it's going away. It's going away.
Yeah, he is losing weight. He's starting to look kind of fit, actually.
Yeah, he's an attractive man when he. I mean, that's mean. He's fine the way he is, but
he was fine before. But
he's got the stubble and everything going on.
Yeah, he's slimming up, getting tan. He's looking like an island guy,
He looks good, yeah.
Good for him. But yeah, did you think Brett was funny, when he was drunk?
Yeah.
Everyone else seemed to think he was pretty funny, so.
Yeah, I think I just don't know. I feel like Brett and Sunday are still gonna just get chopped here kind of soon.
Yeah. I mean, they're just kind of dead weight in the show.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's smart for Chris to bring them along, but maybe it's not smart for them to keep Chris along because Chris is who's going to beat that guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess in the preview for next week, we did get what am I trying to say? We got a shot of Dave saying, "Let's get rid of Chris." So
how dare you? I like
that's
Chris.
Interesting. Yeah, Chris, we want Chris to stay.
I want Chris to stay.
I want to see more of his gameplay because we have gotten to see a little bit of his, convincing people what to do. We even got some in this episode. People were kind of looking to him to call the shots.
Yeah.
So.
He's kind of a contradiction. I mean, he's one of those big, huge, commanding presences, but he's just kind of a quiet guy. So I'm intrigued by his whole mix of charms.
Yeah, he might have little like elements of Tom Westman in his character, where
except not as obnoxious.
Yeah, not as like douchey leader, but he's got that leadership vibe about him, where people people like him as a leader so much, and he makes them feel so at ease in that position that they forget that, he's a big threat for that very reason. So
Yeah, and I watched one of his secret scenes about the immunity challenge and how they have the option to sit out and have grilled ham and cheese and beer. And
yeah.
Chris was like, I know I'm not going to win this challenge, so I could easily take that food and that beer, but I just had a reward, and that would not sit well with people. And I also want people to see that I'm weaker in certain challenges too. So,
that's so smart. I mean, that's so astute. That's such a deeper level of the game that few people even sitting at home think of that level of the game, let alone like when you're in the midst of it, to be able to make those kinds of decisions. So with such a clear head. I mean, he's obviously a good player. I hope we get to see him go deep into the game, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll be bummed if he does go home soon. And then Zeke had a secret scene about him sitting out, and he basically was like, look, I know my fat ass is not going to do well in this challenge. And then he said something about, I'm up there competing against a national championship football player and an array of Greek gods. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So
yeah, good point.
He's funny. I don't understand why we don't get more of his confessionals on the show. I'm sure we will down the line, but
yeah, there's probably a lot more Zeke to come, and maybe that's why they're holding off on it. What else is there in this episode, Catie?
Wow. No.
It wasn't a tier 1. It's not a tier 1 episode.
No.
There's not
the
a lot to
result
say.
Was like, it was like we were pushing so long to get there, to get Taylor out, and it's like it was so hard to get there. Why did it have to be that hard? We had to endure that like mess of a tribal council and just more of his douchebaggery, and it just got worse and worse, even when you thought it couldn't get any worse. It was just too much. It wasn't a great episode.
It's all over now.
Yeah, it's done. Next week apparently is going to be good. So
yes. Okay.
Good.
Well, maybe we should cut this one short this week, since it's not, a tier 1 episode.
Yeah, we're going to have some kind of double whammy next week. So
yeah. All right. Let's call MVPs for the episode.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I want to really play this episode. I could give it to Sunday for trying to shake things up, but I'm mad at her, so no.
Why are you mad at her?
Because she was going after another girl. There's 3 women left, and she was gunning for one of them.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, totally.
So I think I'll give it to Ken, just because he beat out Taylor by that much to get his first individual immunity and assure that Taylor went home. So props to you, Ken. Props to Ken.
I like the call.
Even though he was pretty much not in the episode, other than that.
I can't really give it to Adam, because he came off looking so bad in this episode.
Yeah, it didn't look great.
Yeah,
it's tough, right?
Yeah, there's not much.
You could give it to Jay for surviving.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, after all.
I'd say Ken is the obvious MVP for getting rid of Taylor. Yeah.
Just can't think of anyone else, huh? You don't want to give it to Sunday?
No, I don't want to give it to Sunday either, just because I don't think it's in her best interest to go after Jessica right now.
Yeah, I think it's on top of the fact that I'm mad that she was going after a woman, I'm also, it's not a right time for a move like that. Not the right time for such a move.
And I believe that Brett and Chris would side with Sunday to get Jessica out at 5. If it was like Gen X people like Ken, Jessica, Brett, Sunday, and Chris. Let's say that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
They would all side with those, with Brett and Chris. They'd be able to get out Jessica, is what I'm trying to say. At that point, Sunday wouldn't be in danger at that point either. I think you just keep using Jessica while you can.
Yeah, I think
Although
they.
maybe she's right. Maybe Jessica is untrustworthy and goes after Sunday sooner than that. I mean, it could happen. I don't know.
It certainly could. I mean, who knows? This is the straightforward thing is to get Will and Jay. I said Way and Jill. Will and Jay out next, but rarely does Survivor work so straightforward. The only time I always go back to Redemption Island. It did in Redemption Island because that season was boring. Sorry, Boston Rob, but it was.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He won $1 million.
No, I mean, it was boring because he was so good at it.
Yeah.
So
he had like his buddy system.
Yeah, don't go anywhere without a buddy. Oh, jeez. What a tool.
Yeah, he locked it down. Good for him.
He had a lot of sheep. In that season.
Yeah, that helps for sure. All right, let's go to next week predictions.
No idea, dude. I don't know. I mean,
there's
2 people going to get voted out, so we have a 2 in 11 chance of getting it right as opposed to a 1 in 11 chance. But I mean, I'm gonna say an idol gets played. There's one prediction.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say Jay still ends up getting voted out, but maybe someone else crazy like Chris goes home too, even though I really don't want that to happen.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I will say Adam.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
And
guess.
Who else? I'm going to say
maybe
Adam and Jessica.
Oh, okay.
Adam and Jessica.
That's not good for Ken and David.
No, not good for them. Nope.
So my prediction of them going far is quite wrong if you're right. So.
Yep.
Maybe there's like a double idol play next week.
That could happen. That would make a perfect episode of television.
Because Adam and Jay are both kind of wobbly in danger.
Yeah, they're both in trouble. So you could see them both play their idols for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I think next week's going to be crazy.
It'll be fun.
Predictions are probably moot, but yeah, I'm excited to wash the taste of this episode out of my mouth.
Indeed. And probably have more to talk about next week as well. So.
Oh, sure. Most definitely.
All right. Well, that will do it for this episode of TV is Our Real Mom Survivor Edition. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week when we break down episode 10.
And 11.
And 11. Yeah, both of them. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.